Ben, talk a little bit about just the game in general. Obviously, you came out with a win 27-20, but just talk a little bit about the game in general.
Man, they're just as good as advertised. They're a great team. They're probably the best team we've played this year besides Michigan State. Their offense is very efficient, and our defense, you can't give us credit enough for coming up big in the red zone, stopping them a few times, holding them to a field goal. So that was big for us.
And, defense was really strong today, as it's been in the past. Again, you showed up with, made 10 tackles again. It seems like you've been in double digits for at least the last 4 games. So talk a little bit about how you're finding yourself, making all these tackles.
Just flying to the ball. It's just, you got to have a relentless pursuit to the ball every single play, and I try to do that every play that I can.
All right, here's the bigger question. How do you feel about the OVC championship?
Man, it's been a long time coming. Like I said, it's my 5th year here, and to finally clinch it outright, that's probably the best feeling I've had since I've been at Jacksonville State. And like I said, this huge win in the OVC. We got one more conference game next week. We'd like to win it so we can have home field advantage, get a high seed in the playoffs. But our season's just beginning. The real part starts next.
And talk a little bit about this was your 5th year here. Today was senior day. Talk a little bit about the emotions of this game, just in that aspect, and then also with the win.
Before the game is a little emotional, thinking all the times you've been out there on that field, had games on that field, and coming out there today is your last one as during the regular season, and that really hit home. I've loved every minute of being here, and I cherish every moment. It's been a great time, so it was emotional, but it was awesome to come out with a win.
And that last drive, the defense really proved themselves. What was going through your mind at that last drive?
I told everybody on the field, I said, look, I don't know about y'all, but my skin's crawling, and everybody was just hungry for the ball, and we were going to go get that guy no matter what happened. And just like I said, a relentless pursuit to the ball again. Everybody up front, linebackers, the DBs covered excellent tonight. Everybody had a complete game.
We're solid defense. We found our identity. Coach called a solid game. We played solid, gave up a few touchdowns, but we still played solid and got the win.
And you found yourself in the backfield quite often. You had 10 tackles today. Just talk a little bit about your role in the defense today.
Coach made the call. Coach Blackwell made the calls. Really, I was blitzing a lot, and I found myself in the backfield when I was blitzing and making plays. I get it thanks to God and give Coach Blackwell the thanks for calling the right plays today.
Bigger question: how do you feel about the OVC championship?
Hey, we did it. This was one of our goals, and we did what we had to do to get it. Now it's time to go to the big one.
And this is your final season here at JSU.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about your emotions today with being senior day.
Senior day is not a big deal to me. Senior day, I was really more focused on getting this OVC championship. Senior day is another day. They say play for the seniors. I say we play for everybody to get this OVC championship, and that's what we did.
And talk a little bit about Coach Ross. And first year here. You've seen a lot of coaches come through, but this is his first head coaching year here at JSU. Talk a little bit about that and then win that OVC.
Man, that's a great man right there. That's very, very godly man, great, humble. He's Coach of the Year in my book. And I think he's going to win it nationally, Coach of the Year. Coach Gross is a great coach, great guy. Just everything about him is good.
And what was going through your mind on that last defensive series there where, we had to punt the ball back and, this was do or die right here for the defense?
When we're in a situation like that, we want to be the defense that win the game. We want to be in that predicament. We want to win the game.
All right, Eli, talk a little bit about the game today. We come out with a win, but, you threw the ball a whole lot more than you're used to today.
Yeah. We knew that we was gonna have to throw the ball to win this game, and that's what we did. We Coach Gross called the plays, and we just tried to execute. Some balls weren't perfect, but the receivers went and made plays. That's what I expect out of them.
Talk a little bit about Josh Barnes right there on the second play of our first series. You hit him real deep, wide open, and took it in.
Yeah, we practiced that play all week. We knew that was going to be a big play for us, and fortunately, we hit it, a touchdown. I kind of underthrew it because of the wind. I didn't judge the wind right, but Josh, he made a great play on the ball, made a move, he got in the end zone. He was a great player.
You mentioned the win there. Talk a little bit about how that was a factor today.
Yeah, it was different. I'm not really used to the win like that, but I mean we fought through it. Like some balls, carried, and some balls, fell. Just like the Hamish punts. He has a big leg, and some of his balls fell 20 yards, 20, 15 yards. The wind was a big factor in the game, but I mean we overcame it.
Talk a little bit about just the OVC championship win. Talk a little bit about how your emotions are.
Yeah, I'm excited. Everybody around me is excited. And we knew we were going to be here, though. We been talking all since we lost Eastern Washington. We've been saying that we're going to be champions. But it doesn't stop here. We headed on. We still got another regular season game next week, and then we headed to the playoffs, and we on the road to another one.
All right, Darius Miller, you played a tough game today, especially with the defense. Talk a little bit about just the defense.
Every week we come in thinking like we the defense that gonna stop everybody, and we know that we don't feel nobody. We just know they the next opponent. So in our coach hard all week during practice and stuff like that.
And talk a little bit about you had to move back to corner today. Just because of a couple of injuries. Talk a little bit about being in that old role.
Well, it felt good. It felt like I got back to my old self. So, and practice coach said you going back to corner. I was like, yes. And then that thing, I got in the game. It's just ball time, yeah.
The bigger question is, how do you feel about the OVC championship?
Ooh, it feel real good. See where I'm coming from, where I came from, Southern Miss. It was hard times, but Coach Hall came and got me and said we're gonna win. So and then that was a major factor. So I said we're gonna win here. We're gonna do it now.
Josh, talk a little bit about just the offensive role today. You came up with a big win, 27-20, but you kind of showed up a little bit today. You were 8 for 153.
Yeah, to me, it's just another day at the office. And I mean, Ruben, our other receiver, him coming up big, so it really helped open up something for me. And then Eli just, having the confidence in me, so I give, all my respect to him just for having the confidence and, throwing the ball up and letting me go make a play. And then just our O-line, protection for Eli. He had, sometimes he had all day to throw. Sometimes, they messed up a little bit. But, overall, as an offense, we did good this game. I still feel like we haven't put it all together yet. And then another big shout out to the defense. The defense really held their own, especially against a good team like them. And, I can say they really helped us get the win.
Talk a little bit about that second play from scrimmage there, where you went 50-something yards down for the touchdown. Just talk a little bit about that play.
I ran a post from the inside, and Eli, scrambled out the other way. And so once I seen it open up, I knew we had a play. And then when we threw it, it was kind of short. So I knew once I caught it, I had to make at least one man miss. And thankfully I did. And second thought in my head was getting the end zone. Because most of the times when we get down to the red zone or get inside the 5, Heavy takes all the touchdowns, DeMarcus James. So I just had it in the back of my head to get in the end zone and just light a spark to start the game off with.
You mentioned Heavy taking a lot of the touchdowns, but they kind of shut the run game down, and we threw the ball a whole lot more today. Talk a little bit about that.
Once the coaches figured out, they was scheming up our run games. Me and some of the receivers just went over there and told them that we feel like it hasn't been a team in the OVC yet that can guard over all of us. And they just second play of scrimmage or second play of the game, they took a shot, and when it worked, we kind of just told them that they couldn't guard us, and the coaches having the confidence in us, it really showed today, and we just made plays, and like you said, the running game getting shut down, and DeMarcus still having 124. That just shows what kind of running back that we have. And just that along with the weapons we got outside, it just our offense is dangerous. If we can just get it all together and rolling, we're gonna be a difficult team to beat.
And Eli mentioned the wind being a factor today. Was it a factor much for you?
Oh, and it wasn't for me, but for him it was. Cause like I said, the second play of the game, it ended up short just because the wind caught it. And then sometimes when we're going the other way, if he threw it up in, high in the air, it'll sail sometimes. But compared to last year when we played EIU, the winds were crazy. I seen, our punter, Hamish, we went to Tennessee Tech, he kicks an 84-yard punt, and then go to EIU, he kicks it, and it lands 5 yards in front of him. That's how bad the wind was blowing. So, today, the wind, I don't really factor in, wind or cold. I just go out there and just play.
And talk a little bit about you won the OVC championship. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel great. You know, this is my first time winning the championship playing football. So, I mean, it just feels great. I mean, now it's just on to the next step, and that's the national championship, which we're going to be working for.